On this week's breaking news, we have more drama from Bricks and Minifigs. The Sagrada Familia makes the appearance, and we have another event, Pokemon and the Play Brick. Yep, we got a lot to talk about. All that and more on this week's breaking news. But first, I want to talk about a really cool store, a Brick Monarch shop. This website is designed for all those AFOLs out there that are looking for some great t-shirts with classic logos, some home decor you can put on your walls, such as shields, and some other great iconic aspects from the LEGO history. You can head over to the link in our description for Brick Monarch shop, and you can get a discount of 10% off using backtobrick10. That's backtobrick10, the number 2. So head over there so you can get some really cool AFOL swag. All right, now let's get to the breaking news.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Back to Brick. I'm your host Garrett, and this is the podcast where we talk with fellow AFOLs about their LEGO designs, and we get down to the breaking news to talk about all things LEGO has been up to for the past week. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you are not, because that helps us get our numbers up and shows that more people might like to listen to this podcast. So you can help out doing that. Also, you can help out by becoming a patron over at my Patreon page, getting this ad-free, early, and enjoying learning about the LEGO news before anybody else. Well, people learn about it, but this is the first place and only place you can get all of the LEGO news broken down from this past week in one episode, and you can sit down and just listen to it at work, on your car drive into work, or just at home with family and having fun. And I want to make sure that I do thank my patrons over at Patreon, because they are supporting the podcast and providing just the love for LEGO as we all are. Now, stick around at the end of the episode, because we do not only talk about the LEGO news, but then we have a set review series at the end where I review a LEGO set and a Rebrickable set. And I'm excited to talk about these two. The first one we're going to talk about is a new set that just came out, set 72423, Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots, a LEGO set, as we finally get into Shrek. And then our Rebrickable set is the Phantom Manor MIDI scale inspired building instructions by Wonderbrick_design. Very fun Haunted Mansion style build that we'll get to talk about here in just a minute as we jump into our LEGO news in just 1 second. Admin side, it's my birthday this weekend, so I'm excited to celebrate. I don't know what I'm going to be doing because my wife is surprising me, and she usually ruins the surprises, so let's hope that she still holds out just the one more day to get there. But happy birthday to me, and let's talk about some LEGO sets. So let's jump into our first breaking news story. So let's talk about Bricks and Minifigs again, because we got even stranger and deeper into this. A YouTuber by the name of Reckless Ben has been arrested. He has been arrested for, LEGO at some point. I guess there was supposed to be a search warrant to go into the house, but they didn't really do that. They just arrested him because they thought he tensed up. The body cam footage is all shared online, so you can check that out. It is crazy to think that this whole Utah community has gone against him and trying to say that Bricks and Minifigs is they're cooperating, but they're not. They're lying, they're stealing, and you know what? They are paying for it. This company is probably going to go under based on all this, because it's not the end of it. They are pushing on legal court cases and so many different things. They put out a message to all of their Bricks and Minifigs franchises and said, hey, do not cooperate with these people. We've already requested them taking down from Patreon, from YouTube, from all the way up. And it even got to the CEO of Patreon, who is a pretty chill guy. They talked about his story on one of the YouTube videos I watched previously. And Colin and Samir, great show. Anyways, they talked, he's like, hey, I got your notice that you want to take them down. And you know what? Unfortunately, I have to say, pretty much fuck off. We're going to keep it up. Good luck. And if you have a problem, you can talk with my lawyers. Yeah, because the CEO of a $2 billion company, they reached out to, and then he comes on and slashes them. It's crazy. So the saga continues. Hopefully, honestly, they get taken down, and LEGO should come out with a statement concerning this, because it's just not it's not part of the LEGO community to have something like this. So fingers crossed that this gets resolved in the best way possible, which is Bricks and Minifigs going down and people getting their LEGO sets back. But I know that that's probably not going to happen, but still crazy story. And we'll probably continue with part 3 next week. This might be the second biggest LEGO news of the week. LEGO has announced some new Smart Play sets, the Pokemon Smart Play sets. This was leaked a couple weeks ago, and now that we see them officially, I still have to say they look like crap, and I can't believe that they're real. And I know a lot of people are on mixed feelings. Some people think this will be a huge success. Some people think that this will be just terrible, like me. Because there are other things that I would have wanted from Pokemon, but I get that they're trying to really push the Smart Brick. Personally, down with Smart Play Brick. It just doesn't seem like it's in the right functionality, especially on these sets that, well, are something that I'd rather have instead of this battling. So there's quite a few sets that we'll run through here, but some specifics. The Play Brick, you can put into all these different characters. You can also remove them, and they have different functions where they show like you can battle against other Pokemon that have the Play Brick. So you need 2, and you need to play with other people to do it. And then they can power up, they can eat, they can do all these different things, playing classic Pokemon sounds. And of course, there's going to be the tiles that do specific sounds for like Pikachu or Charizard. And the first set you can get to get all of that stuff is called the Training House with Pikachu. It's $400 set at $70 because it comes with 1 Smart Brick, 4 tiles, a figure, and a charger for it. And the Pikachu minifigure, I think, is better than the Pikachu that they built, the big one. It's interesting. It comes with like a tree house, air quotes, that is a head of a Pikachu that you can lay down. There's a little target practice, and then the pad. And the target practice, because there's a Pokeball, if you hit that, it can make a sound if you put the Pikachu behind it to capture it in a Pokeball. The next one is Charizard versus Jolteon Ultimate Battle. $751 at $120. 751 pieces at $120. And it comes with a buildable Charizard and Jolteon. Jolteon and Charizard look like they have really flat faces. It does come with like a printed wings for Charizard and some smaller target sections. This one does also come with Smart Bricks. This one comes with 2 Smart Bricks, 4 tags, and 2 figures and a charger. The Charizard is okay, I guess, and the Jolteon is not the greatest. They could have done a little bit better on it, but in such a small form, and a lot of people just like having all of those and to collect. I wish they would do more of a brickhead style for it, but this is where we're at as I continue to walk through and kind of explain these. Berry Bash with Bulbasaur and Bifdoof as 240 pieces at $20. And it doesn't. This is some of the ones that don't have the play bricks, and it has, of course, Bulbasaur and Bidoof, which is the like chipmunk style of set, and they've got a little. I don't know if it's an incubator. I think it's the Pokemon recovery cell thing, and they can communicate with each other with smart bricks that you'll have to buy. The Trainer's Buggy Adventure with Squirtle. And this has a Squirtle character with a dune buggy kind of thing that's for water. It's 320 pieces and $30. Don't really get that one at all. Charmander and Geodude's Cavern Clash, 198 pieces at $20. And very blocky. Now, Geodude, that's fine, but not for Charmander for that. We've got Sprigotti, Fukoko, and Quaxley Battle. It's 313 pieces, $35, and these are starters that I did not interact with as a kid because these were not that long ago for the series, but some kids definitely got to experience that as they started growing up with Pokemon. We have Jigglypuff Concert, which is 88 piece set at $15, and somebody put it, Jigglypuff looks like they've seen some things, and you can put a little play brick in there to make it sing. The Drone Search for Mythical Mew, it's $429 at $50. I kind of like Mew. I think he's kind of cute. And the drone and the structure and all that doesn't make any sense to me. But this is one I consider just to get the Mew character. Eevee and Lapras Treasure Hunt, 623 pieces at $60. And Eevee looks cute in that scale, and Lapras also. So this one's not too bad, I'd say, overall, just in reference to, what we've seen. Mewtwo's Lab Break, 605 pieces at $70. And I think it's so close to being right, just not exactly. Like the arms look kind of weird; they're too skinny. And I mean, maybe if I see it in person a little bit more, but it is part of the classic like containment for Mew on that. And we have Umbreon and Garchomp Championship Battle at 831 pieces at $80. Also, they look fine. Not the great. Umbreon could have been better. It looks like just a kind of a, what do you call it? Like a wiener dog. And then Cubone versus and Gengar Spooky Showdown, 782 pieces at $90. And they did Gengar wrong. Like he's just a big old square block instead of circle, and I think that kind of sucks. And then there's a gift with purchase, which is Ditto as Squirtle with a movie night. So it's Ditto's face on a little Squirtle build, and there's a old TV, the Pokemon TV that has Squirtle on there as the old style of printing, and if you spend $130. So putting the bricks in there, it makes them have the lights show, and you can do your little battles. I just don't think that's what a lot of us want to do. I think that's just unfortunately a thing that we have to either get past and just buy the figures and stuff that are semi okay, where they could have been better if we didn't have them dedicated to smart bricks, or you're there to buy them for the smart bricks. And yeah, I it's hard to know. I don't think it's a success story. I think that it'll still sell well, but not what they're going to expect. I do like having Pokemon, but I don't like this Pokemon with Lego. Another crazy thing about these new sets, they're only launching in 6 countries. We've got the UK, US, Germany, France, Poland, and Australia are getting these sets. And I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's the regulations on the playbrick. I didn't know that they did that for Star Wars at all. Or maybe it's something to do with regulations on the franchise of Pokemon. So it's a quandary onto why it happened, but it just means that there's going to be limited stock for a lot of people. LEGO unveils a new Technic F1 vehicle. This is the Aston Martin AMR 25, and it will be released on July 1st. It's right at the same price range as the others at $230, so it's the larger scale version of it, and it's in its classic foresty green and black. It has the body shape and style that we have for the 2025 season, because 2026 we're getting entirely new cars because they're switching over to more electric for it. I never really like the Aston Martin was an interesting one because what's his name, the billionaire bought it, and his son is now a driver, which he's not a terrible driver, but his dad is definitely like a mafia asshole douchebag that's a billionaire. Surprise, surprise. If you're into Technic vehicles, though, and F1 and like the Aston Martin team, this is a set for you. A big release this week was the Minifigure set. You can go buy it for $650. And there is a gift with purchase, which is the Gronk. So that's the giant wolf's head as it goes to break down the door. But there were some other prizes or things that you could get at the Lego store if you went. They had a beautiful Lego picture or poster with Gandalf on his white horse looking out to seeing Minas Tirith in the distance, as well as a couple stickers. And you probably can find them online now for an absorbent amount of money. And sometimes Lego does post them back up on Lego Insiders, so maybe we'll see those coming here in the next couple months. And when I see seeing them online, I just looked it up. You're looking at least $120 for something like this, upwards of $250. Absolutely crazy, people. Summer sets are also available now. Starting June 1st, they've released the Shrek Donkey Puss in Boots, which we're going to talk about. The road bike for the Ideas Icons, not Icons, Idea, still messed it up. Icons series. Wow. The Shield Helicarrier Main Street USA for Disney, and the Woodland Mushroom, plus 2 other botanicals, Speed Champion, Star Wars Technic, and Creator sets. That's kind of the broad scope because there's quite a few that did release. You can go and check those out. I really am interested in the Woodland Mushrooms as well as Shrek because it's really, really cool. The Shield Helicarrier isn't, I wish it wasn't as expensive and a little bit better build for it. I have the original somewhere, but yeah, it's fine. A new Lego bust has come out. This time it's Marvel Venom bust. It's coming out on July 1st at $50, and it's not a bad deal for what it is. It definitely looks like Venom. It's got the swept back, longer white eyes, of course, the tongue coming out, and large teeth. And then it even has some of the cabling to show that, the Venom, the different strings of him. And you can even remove the tongue so you don't have it in there and just have the standard mouth. It comes with, of course, a minifigure of it, and the head does spin. And the minifigure is not like a molded, it's just a standard minifigure with prints on it. But at 413 pieces, it's going to be one of the smaller busts, similar to what they did for Star Wars. But it is nice. I just wish they would do some other busts instead of, just Spider-Man, Iron Man, Venom to do. There's so many more characters in the Marvel franchise, so why don't you try some others? 2 new Star Wars sets were revealed. The first is the Off-World Sandcrawler and Mudhorn. This is from The Mandalorian Season 1, and it's a little bit different than what you'd see as a Sandcrawler because it's faded instead of brown. It is all in dark gray, and it's 1,683 pieces and costs $200, which is an impressive number because that's really high, especially because it's only 1,700 pieces. It does come with Mando, Grogu, what's his name, Nock, and a few, 3 total of the Jawas, and the Mudhorn itself. Is it worth $200? No, it's a stand crawler from the TV show. It's got some interesting things, and it's pretty small. It's not compared to some of the other ones like they did. I don't think they did a UCS one, but they did a pretty big one before, so UCS wouldn't be a bad one to do. The second one we're getting is the Remnant AT-AT with INT4. Now, this is from the newest Mandalorian and Grogu TV show. It's 1,400 TV show. It was a TV show. It was not a movie. It contains 1,453 pieces. It will release on August 1st at $160. So that's more comparable, I'd say. The AT-AT has a little bit of a different design to it on the front, more printed sections. The legs are pretty skinny, but I guess pretty strong. And it does have the Remnant, Imperial Remnant bad guy flies out of the side. His name is just Imperial Remnant Warlord. It's a little ship that is new, flying out of the side of an AT-AT, and it comes with an AT-AT driver and a Remnant, a Snow Trooper, which have some cool masks, a Snow Trooper, and then Grogu and Mando. So if you like the movie or you just want these cool minifigures, these are some sets that you can get in August. With the new release of the new Pokemon sets with Smart Play, they're partnering up with Pokemon GO. They're going to be doing some events this summer in the UK, US, Germany, France, Poland, and Austria. Of course, Australia, with the 6 countries that got it. And Pokestops around these countries. And specifically, they're partnering up with a mobile game where you can go and play as you would as Pokemon Go. And they're having these different events through August and September. And then you can get a Smart Play brick that is specifically for like people that go to these events or winning. And, the trainers, of course, that are getting all these are going to then actually adapt them into their Lego set, which is so cool and exclusive, which a lot of people, I don't play Pokemon Go. I did when it came out in like 2015, but it's become very, very popular. Huge groups. I know there was like a huge event in Japan not too long ago for a Pokemon Go card, and they shut it down because there was like 20,000 people that showed up to it. So there's definitely some interest, and now they'll get an exclusive little promo to go along with it, and maybe some other things. Who knows? We'll see, because some influencers going to get all that stuff too, so that they can show off the Lego and really promote the event. The Lego Batman video game is getting an exclusive minifigure when you purchase for the Switch 2. This is the deluxe edition, but what's really cool is you get a Lego retro video game Batman minifigure, and it's in a purple hue, so you get the kind of pixelated front chest area, and Batman is in a turquoise blue face with a purple helmet. So a lot of people are probably really disappointed that they waited that they bought it early instead of waiting. This is from the Batman video game from way back when, as the purple Batman from the original NES in 1989. Really a good way to sell the game for people who have a Switch 2. And I know that they've been promoting the Switch 2 with so many other video games. So now we get one for Batman. And I know a lot of people are disappointed, and I'm sorry. Maybe you can still go and get this game too, or return your other game. I don't know. It just seems, of course, like a corporate grab for different money, and now making an exclusive Batman figure. Speaking about those Star Wars sets, the newest one, the Imperial Remnant AT-AT, talks about, an actor is very happy to have gotten his Lego minifigure. He's the Imperial Warlord, and he's 49 years old, but he said, somehow I get to say that I've been immortalized as a Lego minifigure. As a kid, I would have never imagined this. And especially even in Star Wars, like we didn't really know much about him. He was just a bad guy, but he definitely played an important role at the beginning, showing the action sequence. And honestly, that was all that was kind of important. I mean, there was a couple other things, but that was a fun start to it. And having somebody happy that they're a minifigure is really cool. I wish I was a minifigure. Maybe one day I will be. Lego has 2 new giveaways that are going to the stores. And only in UK, unfortunately, but it's coming in July, different make and take events. They're going to have one specifically with the old school duck, and it's going to be from June 6th, the iconic wooden duck from the early history, and it's starting at 10 a.m. until midday, which I have no idea what that means, only for 2 days. And the second one is a small football stadium on June 13th at 10 a.m. to midday, and the 14th from midday till 2. It's going to be at different Lego stores at the Birmingham Uta Arena, Legoland Windsor Resort, Manchester Trafalgar Plaza, and these make and take events are always so much fun. Go and check them out, get some free Lego, and of course, then go spend money and get more Lego. We've got another promotion for World Play Day, and this one's specifically by our star Aquaman as well as the star for Minecraft, Jason Momoa. He put out a promotional video over at Lego talking about, it's time to play using Lego bricks. He has sunglasses. He has a build where he's like a nerd style. He's got his minifigure and even has his like tattoo on his hand, on his arm for it. And June 11th, people, that's the time for World of Play. You can go out and not only play, with just Lego sets, but with your own Lego, build some cool things, hang out with Jason Momoa as he builds Lego and enjoys his peace and quiet time with Lego builds that he's done and Lego's done just specifically for this promotional feature. Lego has unveiled their Lego Design Student Challenge. This was a way for students to go and reveal 4 different unique designs, creativity in contemporary culture that then they would get selected to participate in becoming a Lego intern of a concept and model designer. And there's so many fun little builds, specifically not just for out of Lego, but Lego adjacent things. There's one where somebody did a drawing of like an old mill system to it. Smart Play Music Studio having just some basic things with the light brick to have different motions and ways to play. A brick-built bag charm, which is a little figure that is kind of a plasticky outline that you could put sets in and make it into a cool little character. And then another is a brick-built Beyond Perfect face that people built in 3-dimensional form from a little build. And then a harvest farm or a harvest festival with a bunch of minifigures and different things, kind of on the more basic side, but they won some great designs and some of them got to go to Lego internships, which is super cool and a great opportunity for people who love design and Lego to get that chance to become an intern and even build some and help design some real Legos in the real world. There was some event, I guess I missed, for Minecraft where they revealed a new set. This is at 21591, the Twisted Warden Battle. And it's going to cost you $60 at 438 pieces, and it'll be available on August 1st. And it's from the upcoming Mojang video game sequel that's coming out. And it has 4 total minifigures. We've got, of course, the giant monster thing. I'm guessing it has teeth that you can eat you in the middle, too. And some other fun little characters that I have no idea. One has a different armor. He's an older black man with a beard. We've got someone all in red, a small potion, an archery, and yeah, just another addition to the Minecraft realm that you can build onto and continue making your Minecraft additions from the game into Lego. Lego and Nike are continuing in their collaboration to encourage kids to express themselves, including not just regular shoes like the Airs that they have, but they have soccer shoes and skateboarding and all these different things to help promote in new collections that they have. It's specifically going out and doing new jerseys out of Lego and all these different aspects. And they stated Nike has always stood for creativity, instinctive football, says Aaron Simmons, the creative director and brand initiative at Nike. With those films, we wanted to play spirit of the game to come through. We want kids to reminder that football is fun. For longtime fans, it's to be reminded of the joy they felt when they watched their favorite players do their unimaginable things. And that's something for everyone. So I guess it's Lego football internationally. And just continuing the promotion of Lego and Nike and getting out and playing and being creative. We have 2 F1 helmets that have been revealed for the 1,000th race for McLaren. The first one is Oscar Piastris, and then we have Lando Norris. And I'm a big fan of Lando's, and Oscar isn't bad either. And they come with their small minifigures, but instead of racing like jackets and uniforms, they have kind of their own like downplayed style to them. These are both going to be $90, and they're the smaller helmets, but they got a lot of detail. They both have a split down the middle of different designs. One is for Oscar is the blue with like zebra striping and orange on one side, and then Lando's is orange with yellow, and of course that new visor piece to put across it. So for any F1 fans that are continuing to collect in this helmet series, well, this is just the beginning. We're going to see a lot more coming. A shop in Norway decided that they were going to give out some free Lego for the World Cup to celebrate. And let's just say it didn't go as planned. This toy company was called Inner Toys, and it had boxes of 2x4 orange bricks to build the flag of their country as there was a kickoff. It's just a bunch of 2x4 orange bricks. The only thing special, if not anything special, was the box it came in. I guess people might collect those things, but it's crazy to think that people want them at all. It's just 2 orange bricks, but guess what? It's Lego. People collect those things and make them rare. It's going for like $70 for just a box of these. I don't know. People are crazy, and they could have done a better job. Build a football. Build something that represents the country just a little bit more than just the orange flag pieces. And finally, our biggest news of the day is the Lego architecture Sagrada Familia has been revealed. This has been discussed for a long time now and expected to be the largest Lego set ever created, and we were right. It is 12,060 pieces, an 18 plus rating, and a cost a little higher than I would have liked at $800. And it'll be released not July, not August, not September, not October, but November 1st, which is why that's so far ahead that they revealed this. Now, so many people are going to be interested, but have to wait so long. You can pre-order it. I wouldn't, because it's going to be a gift with purchase, and they usually don't do the gift with purchase in the pre-orders, so just hang on. But this is in celebration of Gaudi's 100-year legacy. And it's a huge set, huge box. I mean, it stands at least, it says it's 62 centimeters high, 47 centimeters wide, and 39 centimeters deep. I can't do that math that quickly, but divide it in 2.5. And it has an extensive interior as well, not just like a small section, but the entire interior is built with columns, transparent bricks to show the stained glass that's going through it. It's broken up into multiple of different sections. They've got the front wall section. There we go. 2 on either side, and then the front, the rear section, and then the front tower, and then the main section in the middle. So a total of 6 pieces all brought together to build this. And it's not like there's a lot of different colors. It is all pretty much tan on the outside, and we've got the white columns and different stained glass and things on the inside. There is, I wish they would have done like maybe a different color for like the original build and then what's been rebuilt now, because they've still been building it. It's 144 years later, they're still building it. Well, my buddy said he'd finished the set only to the point that they're currently at construction. It is an impressive build. I will love to see it in a store. I will not be buying it just based on, well, I don't have that kind of space. It doesn't give a great impact to me, and I don't need to have the biggest set ever made. There's so many other sets I can get with $800. All right, let's be realistic. 3 other sets I can get with $800, but it is a very beautiful architecture set. And for any fan of this cathedral of just ingenuity and creativity, this is a really cool set to have. Well, you'll have it in November. And that's all the breaking news we have this week. Thank you all for tuning into this week's podcast. I appreciate your support and continuation of listening to me babble on about Lego. I hope that you learned a lot. And if you learned the same things you did this week, maybe you'll find something new when I talk about more Lego next week. So stick around right now as we move into our set reviews, because I don't want you to miss out on this. Our first one is going to be the Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots set 72423. It's an 18 plus set of 1,403 pieces and will cost you $130. And it currently has 5 stars out of 5 stars from 5 people. So that's lucky right there. Now, this set is really cool to me because it brings back the love of such a fun franchise, the Shrek franchise, which is what I grew up with, because it's 25 years old. So that's 2001, which is crazy to think that's how old I am to have that. But it has a brick built of Shrek, a brick built of Donkey, and then a minifigure of Puss, which is stupid. They should have done a brick built figure. Even if it was small and didn't have a ton of detail to it, they could have done printing to make it different. We've got both of them standing on a little platform with a swampy area, and Donkey is on a boulder. And he likes that boulder. That is a nice boulder. There's a couple sunflowers on the back area, and then a Beware Ogre sign. And Shrek, of course, is holding an onion. It does have a nice printed face on both of them. Donkey, his face is kind of flat, which I guess it's kind of flat in the movie as well. And then there's a portly belly on Shrek. And then the build figure of Donkey has some rufflings, like it actually has some coat, like fur, and then Puss is just the minifigure from the other collectible minifigure series. So maybe we'll see some other Shrek sets come out, wink, wink, hint, hint, because there's definitely some other ones that I know are coming. And even it has this other little feature that I forgot about. It has Donkey that you can close his mouth and present a flower, because he presents a flower to his dragon wife, lover, whatever you call it, and they have their babies in the second one. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, you should go see it, because it is an amazing film, one of the best sequels there is. And at $130, 1,400 pieces, you're getting a pretty good deal for that. And if you're a Shrek fan, you grew up with the series, and there's Shrek 5 coming out later, I think this year or early next year, you're going to enjoy building this set. And for our rebrickable set, this is the Phantom Manor MIDI scale inspired building instructions, and it is from Wonderbrick_design. It's 2,139 pieces and will cost you €12. Now, this is an iconic mansion from Disneyland Paris. It's not Disneyland from California. That has a little bit of a different vibe. This one is more so of like the Psycho vibe. It's got the main structure tower in the center that goes up, and then of course a wraparound porch, and it's in a dark coloring, so it's got dark tan, browns, and grays, and then there's a stairwell structure as well as different flanking trees that do not have any leaves on them, because it's a haunted, it's kind of scary tile. You can turn it around and you'll see there's like a worship room area, and then on the underground side, that's where the events happen. I'd say they used a little cupcake to do like a magic ball, and it looks like one of the classic rides that that Disney has done, and now in Lego form at this MIDI scale version. Now, when I say MIDI scale, I get it because you can't really have any minifigures in it. It's pretty tall for that. And it's not miniature scale. So they did a good job depicting that it is a midi scale version. But if you look at Psycho House and this house, it's pretty much the same. The build detail is well done. They even have like the eaves overhang and the structure for the porch works well. And for 12 euros, that's not a terrible price. It's 12 inches by 10 inches by 10.5. So 2,000 pieces. You're looking at maybe a price of or maybe $200. I'm going to give it a quick search here, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're looking at, $277. So it's a little bit higher because of the colorings to it. But it still is a fun set, and if you like Disneyland's Paris Haunted Phantom Manor, it's a fun set to build. And that's all we have today. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's podcast. Make sure to go have a fun weekend, and I'll leave you, as I always do, get creative, get out there, and go build something.